Hello and welcome to my channel, and welcome to this week's Thirsty Thoughts, in which I discuss my thoughts and impressions of the books I have been reading this past week. I finished The Day of the Scorpion by Paul Scott, the second book of the Raj Quartet, so I have now completed my March of the Mammoth challenge. I enjoyed The Day of the Scorpion much more than The Jewel in the Crown. Two of my viewers said that they preferred The Jewel in the Crown, but I preferred The Day of the Scorpion because it is written in a straightforward, linear fashion in the present tense. However, Scott's writing in this book has helped me to appreciate his writing in The Jewel in the Crown. I see it more clearly now as the accomplished work it truly is, even though it was written in quite a different style. The way Scott wrote The Jewel in the Crown and how he continues the story in The Day of the Scorpion sets up resonances in the mind as he presents the events of his story from several perspectives and points of view narrated by different characters. For example, he presents a long section containing a fascinating examination of Hari Kumar, the principal suspect of the rape of Daphne Manners, which occurred 2 years before in The Jewel in the Crown, and we see it from his perspective and learn more about the circumstances both of the rape and his subsequent interrogation by Ronald Merrick, not previously revealed. In The Day of the Scorpion, Scott draws us deeper into his epic of India at the close of World War II. With force and subtlety, he recreates both private ambition and perversity, and the politics of an entire subcontinent at a turning point in history. As the Scorpion, encircled by a ring of fire, will sting itself to death, so does the British Raj hasten its own destruction when threatened by the flames of Indian independence. Brutal repression and imprisonment of India's leaders cannot still the cry for home rule. And in the midst of chaos, the English Laytons withdraw from a world they no longer know to seek solace in denial, drink and madness. India, August the 9th, 1942. The morning brings raids and arrest by British police of Congress Party members. Amongst the prisoners is the distinguished ex-Chief Minister Muhammad Ali Qasim. Loyal to the party's central vision of a unified free India, his incarceration is a symptom of the growing deterioration of Anglo-Indian relations. For the long-serving British family, the Laytons, the political and social ramifications are immediate, disturbing and tragic. Some, like Ronald Merrick, believe that true intimacy between the races is impossible. Others, such as Sarah Layton, struggle to come to terms with their Anglo-Indian past. With growing confusion and bewilderment, the British are forced to confront the violent and often brutal years that lie ahead of them. I'm looking forward to reading Book 3 of the Raj Quartet, The Towers of Silence. I also finished Unbroken by Laura Hillenbrand. First, let me say what this book is not. It is not inspiring. Those who claim that this story is inspiring never say what it is I'm supposed to be inspired to be or to do. After reading Unbroken, which is a record of the first third of Louis Zamperini's life, I do not feel inspired to endure 6 weeks on an inflatable raft in the Pacific Ocean, surrounded by and being attacked by sharks. Neither do I want to endure horrific and sadistic cruelty for 2.5 years in a Japanese prisoner of war camp. Neither is this book enjoyable to read. The details are too harrowing, the actions are too tragic, and the results too traumatic for this story to be considered an enjoyable read. Neither is it an uplifting read. The fact that Zamperini finds ultimate release from the horrific nightmares he experienced and from the destructive consequences of the sadistic treatment he received at the hands of his tormentor does not detract from the depressing, agonizing portrayal of unspeakable evil that we have to read to get there. This book is brutal, sadistic, cruel, heartless, and harrowing. Nevertheless, the story, with this relentless catalogue of sensational details in which every blow, every cruelty, every deprivation is told in close-up, is morbidly fascinating. This book is a soul-lacerating, mind-disturbing story of sadistic cruelty that only ends in the final 25 pages of this long, detailed book, when Zamperini finds release and redemption through faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. What this book is ultimately is the triumph of good over evil, a tale of endurance by a remarkable individual, and this is the key to this book: the character of Louis Zamperini. I could not help feeling, when the three men who survived the crash of their plane in the Pacific Ocean were drifting on their inflatable dinghy, that the one who I most identified with was the one who succumbed to despair. That is why this book is not inspirational, because not everyone has the resilience of a Zamperini. After reading this book, I was left with the feeling that there is a far more and truly inspiring story, which Hillenbrand only touches upon in the epilogue. Zamperini's great life project, the non-profit Victory Boys Camp, which Zamperini started in 1952, and it ran for 66 years until his death in 2014 at the age of 97. The family of Zamperini continue his legacy through the Louis Zamperini Foundation. So that's all, folks, but I'll be back soon with another Booktube video.